Welcome back to Know and Grow. This is Bonnie Wiley, and I am on Instagram. I haven't done very much at all with Instagram, so I'm trying to venture out and do a little bit more. And I thought I would do recipes. So this is going to be ketchup, homemade ketchup. Have you ever made it? This recipe is from Homesteading family, and I'll share that information with you. I really, really like their videos, and this has a very special ingredient that will make it probiotic for you. If you've ever heard of probiotics, I'm sure some of you have, and you've heard that, it's good for your body. Actually, it might not be a probiotic. It might be a prebiotic. Oh well, it's either one or the other, but it's good for you. It has a secret ingredient. So let's get started. First, I have 2 cans of tomato paste, 2 large cans. And I'm doubling my recipe because I want to fill this size of a container. Okay, so let's take both of those and open them up. I've made homemade ketchup in the past, but it's been quite some time ago since I did it. So this is a new recipe. I think you'll really like the Homesteading family. That is such a really good, I have my favorites of cooking shows and cooking video channels. This is super easy. Here's my big 4-cup Pyrex, and we're going to put both of these in here. I just found a new one with an old granny, and I really like it. She's just fun, very just down home, just regular people like us. I grew up in a farm, so I'm just kind of plain folks here. Hope that's not making too much noise for you. I know the microphone really picks up noises like that. Okay, the next thing is going to be maple syrup, and so that's another thing. With the sweeteners that you find in ketchup, I really look for a container at the store that says no high fructose corn syrup. But this maybe is even better. This is maple syrup, and this is real maple syrup. I got it from, let me see, Maple Cove Farms, Dale Shoemaker and family, Buffalo Mills, Pennsylvania. I'm going to coat this. This is my 1-cup Pyrex. I'm going to coat it. I have one of these sprayers so that the maple syrup comes out easily. Okay, now I need to get a paper towel to wipe my hand. I could have used a brush. I had a special brush for things like that, but the old country part of me just kicks in and I use my hands. Alright, so I'm doubling the recipe. It calls for 1/3, so I'm going to put in 2/3. Alrighty. And then the next thing is a tablespoon of, and I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm 68 years old and still haven't figured out how to pronounce Worcestershire sauce. I think it isn't supposed to be quite like that. And I have these kind of measuring spoons. These are as old as the hills, these old metal ones. But I also have this single one that I like to use for liquids. Okay, it calls for 1, but I'm doubling, so I'm going to put in 2. I hope you're having a good week and a blessed week. The next thing is cloves. Okay. Here we go. It calls for 1/8 of a teaspoon, so I will be using 1/4 of a teaspoon. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, so I'm doubling, so that'll be 1/4. Oh, it's clear down in the bottom there. Alright. And the next thing is going to be, well, it says you can use ginger. And, come on, get on there. There we go. And I like the health benefits of ginger. So, I'm going to use ginger. And I'm just going to shake. Shake, shake, shake. Alright, good. And then we have a teaspoon of fine salt. And this is my real salt, and it does say fine down here. So I need 2 teaspoons. The homesteading family talks, I mean, everything from recipes to stuff around their farm to raising their kids, and it's very, they talk about a lot of things. I like the one they did around Christmas that talked about simplifying the whole Christmas season. It was really good. Okay. 2 tablespoons of, it says raw apple cider, but I just have, you know, basic great value apple cider. So I need 4 tablespoons. I have used raw. I just, in fact, I have some that was regular, but actually began to develop a mother. You know what a mother is in raw vinegar, and in kombucha and things like that, you have the actual live culture. And this is the secret ingredient. This is from when I made homemade yogurt, and the whey that comes off of that clear liquid, even if you don't make homemade yogurt, if you just have a container of yogurt and it's sitting for a while, and when you take the cap off you see that liquid, just pour that off, and that would be the same as this, only this is homemade. And so it's 2 tablespoons, and I'm doubling, so I'm going to put in 4. So this acts as a live ferment. And it could be, I'm spilling, but oh well, that is all right. This is the ingredient that's going to make it more healthy for you. And I believe on her video, and I'll link to the video, I'll link to the written out recipe that she has. I think maybe she uses sauerkraut juice. I can't remember though, but that's also a starter culture. It's also a fermented product. So, okay. I haven't made this before, so this is going to be new for me too. Can you see it? I'm sorry, all this time I've probably had this up here where you couldn't see what I was actually doing. I'm sorry. I will get better at these square. I guess for Instagram you do square or portrait mode. So again, this is new. I'm gonna have to get used to it. We are planning to have my niece Cheryl on early in February. We're going to be talking about the foster care system, adoption, and abortion, and how they all fit together. And if you've thought of being involved in that, or you have been, you'll enjoy it. I really think you'll enjoy it. It's a whole new opportunity, a whole new ministry that's open for the Christian. That and it's been open. I mean, foster care and adoption, of course, has been there for a long time, but with changes with abortion, the abortion ruling and all that, there could be even more children that are up for adoption or in the foster care system. I think you'll really enjoy listening to her. She's my niece from up in northeast Pennsylvania. Okay, this is coming together. I'm anxious to try it to see what it's going to be like. I think when I listened to the recipe or watched it on Homesteading Family, that you were to let it sit for a while after you made it, I think. And I think that was for the ferment part, for the health benefits. The other thing about having something that's fermented like that in a product, even if you're making your own homemade salad dressings, I've made homemade mayo. When you put the culture in like that, it is stable for a longer period of time. It lasts longer with the culture in it. Okay, let's do this a little bit fast. You know, I'm not very fast. My mom could stir like crazy. She was amazing. She could do a lot of other things besides that too. But it's funny how you remember particular things from your parents. Okay. Let's scrape the edges, the sides. Now, I know she said that if it's a little too thick, because you want it to be able to come out, you know, the spread, like, that you can add a little bit of water. So I'm going to add a little water, just a little at a time. Just a little at a time. We don't want running. You've been probably in restaurants or at home, or I've probably done this myself, where you are getting low on your ketchup and you add a little water to it to squeeze out those last drops. I was raised like that. When we were getting to the bottom of something, my mom would always scrape down the sides. We would turn something upside down to get the last bit out of it. I'm going to add some more water. We were raised to be careful with our food products. So anyway, this granny that I've been watching, I can't remember the name of her channel, but she's so good. I was watching her make pizza dough today. I didn't finish the video. She takes her time. She doesn't edit out mistakes. You know, I'll put this up, I'll edit it, I'll try to put out any really stupid things that I say or do, but she doesn't edit, doesn't appear to edit, and she talks her way through it, and she's just fun, really fun. And she was making that particular pizza dough. That was the first time she tried the recipe she had. Well, you know what? In order not to make this overly long, I am going to just taste test it, and then I will thin it out later. Or maybe I'll just pause. You know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause this. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I managed to get it into here, and there was a lot left over. This is a pretty big container, so it really did make a lot. And I tested it, and I think I would put less cloves in, but you might like lots of cloves. I think I might try doing half the cloves next time and then taste testing it before I add more. And I'm going to make something that I make. You cook the potatoes ahead of time in the Instant Pot, or whatever, in your cook pot on the stove, whatever, and then you chill them, because when you chill potatoes like this, and then you make them, reheat them, or eat them cold as potato salad or something like that, what happens is that it's something called resistant starch, and it means it's not as starchy, so it's not as like high carb for you, so it's better for you. So I'm Can you see that? I just sliced them up, make them the size of French fries, and I'm going to put them in here. I have my, what do you call it? Oh, that's awful, I'm getting old. I have my broil setting on. I have it on high, and I have my shelf on the top rack. So, and this is curry powder. This is from my son. He has a beautiful Jamaican wife, and Jamaicans like curry, I guess. And this is, it says garlic powder, but I repurpose, you know, again, I was raised in the country, on the farm. We repurpose things, we didn't waste things. This really says garlic powder, but you know it's not garlic powder because it's orange. See how dark that is? This is turmeric. And I'm putting turmeric in here too. Turmeric is very good for you. And that is what I'm going to mix up. Just stir them up with my hands. And then I'm going to mix these in. Again, no oil. So for those of you who are trying to cut back on your fat, or just, even if it's not fat, you're just trying to cut back on your calories, you can do this. Alright, let's finish cutting these up. And I like things bitey. If you don't like things bitey, you can take, instead of curry powder and turmeric, you can put any seasoning that suits you in. Just get out your seasonings and try something out. I've done, this isn't all I've done something else too, but this is like one of my favorites. I like bitey. I love bitey. Alright. Okay, I'm going to do 2 potatoes. The other one's a little bit smaller. Yeah, but the sky is the limit. I have like tons of spices. I'm a spice person, and so I have a ton. I can experiment with all sorts of things. And you'll see when I'm finished, you'll see how bitey I really, oh, this one's really thick. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Some are thicker, some are a little thinner. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. But yeah, I'm going to really turn the heat up when these are done. And these you don't do very long. I put them like on high for like 3 minutes and flip them, put them back in on high for 2 minutes. So that's like 5 minutes altogether. And then you can taste test them. See how you might like them, that might be just perfect for you. If you want them a little crisper, turn them again. But the second time, make sure you don't use high. Make sure you turn it down to low. So I'm going to cook these. And see what else I repurposed. I don't know what you're going to think of me after this, but I even rinsed out my paper towels here so I can reuse them again. I will be back. So here you go. This is what they look like. And let me show you this. My son makes trivets. He takes pictures mostly of rocks. That's his specialty. Rocks have so many beautiful colors. It's hard to believe they have so many beautiful colors. But he also takes other pictures too. Anyway, this mix of turmeric and curry powder, I'm going to keep a little bit of it because I want some of my French fries to take up some of that. And, okay, and let's put them in. I had to turn my smoke alarm, well, the smoke alarm came on and I had to open my kitchen door. But it only took a few moments, a little bit of time, and the sound went away. So, here we go. No oil. I ended up doing them 3 minutes on high, flipped them over, did 2 minutes on high, and then flipped them over and did 3 minutes on low under my broiler. Okay, And this made another whole pint. Look at this, it made a lot. So let's take what I put in here. And this was a little tricky getting this in here. I had, first I was putting it in, I think a little too thick, and then I thinned it down, it was easier. So I'm gonna put some of this in here, a whole lot. I'm a big ketchup person. A whole lot, whole lot, whole lot, whole lot, whole lot. And now if you really like light, sriracha, ooh la la. And not too much. That's enough. And here I am. This is what I'm going to enjoy now. I hope you enjoyed watching with me, and I hope you maybe try it. I think you might like it. It's not that hard, and it avoids all the ingredients that you might not want in a ketchup. But if you do go to the store to buy ketchup, look for the kinds that have that talk about not having a lot of extra ingredients, or that have, let me see what this actually says. No artificial flavors, colors, preservatives, or ingredients, and that says it right up here, and no high fructose corn syrup. And this is just the Weiss brand. So if you don't want to make homemade, try this. This is really good. So here I am, off to my supper, and I hope you enjoyed it, and tune in for the next time. Don't forget to, what do you do on Instagram? I think you can like, I think you can comment. Whatever you do on Instagram, would you please go ahead and do it? All right, take care.